What's going on, y'all? This is the First Amendment News with your boy Isaiah Tilson. How y'all doing tonight? So, we got a lot of news to talk about. I haven't seen y'all in forever, so I know my hat look kind of crazy, but whatever. I haven't seen y'all in whatever, so we got a lot of news to talk about. First things first, Sarah Sanders, and this is something that I wanted to rap to y'all about because Sarah Sanders talked to Robert Mueller, had a direct conversation with Robert Mueller almost a year ago, and never let no one know. No one figured it out. No one got the no one got the papers on it. Nobody was told about this conversation. We just happened to find out a year later after the documents dropped, and she told us herself because she was scared that it was going to come out. We happened to find out that the secretary, President Trump's secretary, is talking to Robert Mueller. I just, how disrespectful this presidency is crazy. How disrespectful this presidency is crazy. We see everything that's happening right now, and we just see, how could you lie? You talk to the people every single day. Your conversation or your job is to be transparent with the people. How could you possibly lie in front of everybody? How could you do that? That's what she did. She didn't tell nobody that she talked to Robert Mueller. She didn't tell nobody what was it about. She didn't tell nobody, or she didn't tell. She did. She just forgot to mention that. She called it a witch hunt through the whole through this whole investigation for a year. She's been telling that it is not valid. She all these things that she's been saying, but she never told nobody that she was interviewed for the Russia investigation. Now remember, Sarah, Secretary Sarah, Secretary Sanders, I'm sorry, or her name is Sarah Sanders though. Secretary Sarah Sanders, she remember what her role is. Remember, when was she hired? She has nothing to do with the investigation of what is it, the committee that they're investigating. She has nothing to do with that. So my thing is that if she has nothing to do with the actual investigation, then why was she talking to Robert Mueller? If she was nowhere around the campaign, she was nowhere around the campaign when it was running for president, and she was hired after, then what was her specific conversation with Robert Mueller? Why did he want to talk to her? And why was it in grave danger the way that he talked to her? Because at first she said she willingly talked to her, and then we know that that was a lie. The lie detector determined that that was a lie. She wasn't willing. She wasn't willing to talk to her. Matter of fact, she did not want to talk to him at all until he had to press her and say, "Listen, you got to come in and have a conversation with us. You have to come in and have the conversation with us, and then you got to come in and have a and the reason why I keep telling people that Russia investigation is very, very much heating up. It's heating up is because we have a whole bunch of things breaking at once. So we just don't have one thing happening. We have a whole lot of things happening at once. And that's the most exciting part about this. And one of the most exciting parts about this, while you got a whole lot of investigations happen, it's hard to keep up with certain things. You got to keep up with every single part of the presidency. See, the national emergency was happening yesterday, but nobody was talking about the Russia investigation. I wanted to jump on here. I really wanted to have a conversation. I did a video in the car yesterday going to work. Everybody keep telling me don't never do that again. But yeah, I did a video in the car going to work or whatever. And I wanted to actually see how far the actual investigation Well, I wanted to see the video that I did about the car was a national emergency, but I wanted to see how much was the investigation was going to be underplayed. And I looked at it was underplayed. The hush monies to Stormy Davis. The hush money to Stormy Davis was broken yesterday that he lied. The White House is actually investigating. Elijah, my man, is actually investigating the hush monies payments and saying that the number that he gave us, 150,000, before, he was still paying while he was still the president. So they added up, it was close to $450,000 or somewhere around that range. So they said that, I thought you said you gave her 150,000 and it wasn't all at one time. It was split up in increments. But the way it looking like now is that he gave her 450,000 and it was more than 37,000 split up in time. So the White House is starting to investigate his hush money payments with a stripper named Stormy Davis, which I gotta say, it's kind of distasteful every time when I tell this story, and I gotta keep telling about how the president, was paying porn stars to have sex with him. That's not the president behavior that I would like to talk about. But hey, to each his own. Locker room talk. A man's gonna be a man. But I mean, like, that's not the presidential conversation I would like to have, or I would even like to talk about. But listen, whatever, and then if that's the conversation we want to have, then whatever, but just the whole full thing of him continue to lie. And but one thing that I want to be clear, and I'm going to be clear about, him lying is going to get him in trouble. That's number one. Now that's obvious, but number two is that if he don't, I'm gonna repeat this, if he don't pardon Paul Manafort, I think Paul Manafort is going to tell on him. Paul Manafort is not built to do 24 years in jail. Robert Mueller said that Manafort should go to jail for the rest. Manafort should go to jail for 24 years. Robert Mueller said that he lied continuously. He even lied. Well, he didn't lie continuously. We're not talking about Michael Cohen. We're talking about Paul Manafort. But yeah, he didn't lie continuously. He told the truth on everything. He lied on one big issue, and that was, did he have contact with Russia? And he lied about that. He lied about that. It's so much information, y'all. I mean, you got Manafort lying about Russia. Then you got Roger Stone lying about WikiLeaks. They found inside his emails that he was contacting WikiLeaks. So that means that he knew WikiLeaks was tapping into Hillary Clinton emails. I mean, the mess that this whole thing is creating. You guys don't understand. If this was 1950, people been running around going crazy right now. People would be going crazy right now saying, "Oh, tyranny." Like people, like people will be burning buildings and taking their money out of banks right now because we do not know is our president of the United States is a double agent. I know everybody keeps thinking I'm playing around when I say that, but I mean, like, it's so. He's so close to being a double agent, you guys. It's remarkable. You can't get mad at this guy for that. Somebody come out one day and say, "Listen, our president's a double agent." There's no way you could possibly be mad at our president being a double agent. There's no way you could possibly be mad at that. One thing that I do want to conversate and kind of talk about, and this is honestly or whatever, I talk about politics a lot. and this is before I get into the whole into something else. I just want to clear this up or whatever. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me just hit the like, subscribe to the page, do whatever you could possibly do. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. One thing I do, and this is what I want everybody to understand, and I want everybody to do. One thing I do, I talk about politics a lot. And I hear everybody say, Isaiah, I get excited when I'm talking and I start to like yell and my eyes starts to twitch and and I do that a lot. Everybody comes on my ans on my comments and says, Isaiah, you know, this political game is not real. Wake up. You're being fooled. You know, and African Americans say this a lot. And it just it tears me up inside because the United States government, I understand that you say that liberal, liberal or Democrat, liberal or Democrat, they both, there's no good in both of them. Oh, so you should not be both. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. The only way that we're going to change the most powerful government in the world is if we intertwine with them. We give them a run for their money. But what a lot of people is telling people is that don't mess with the government at all. But the United States government is the most powerful government in the world. And you mean to tell me I live in a place that has the most powerful government in the world and I have a chance to be a part of it? And you tell me that I should not mess with it because it's a game? Of course we know it's a game. We're not saying it's a game. But if I get one fraction out of this game and I get it to at least turn my way in a little bit, you know how huge that would be for our communities? How huge would that be for us as a people? But when you tell me not to enter the game at all, not to play at all, it's like telling me don't live. Oh, just because I know that people that work, when you go out there you work, you making other people rich. I'm not supposed to work. It makes no sense. I see people comment on my comments all the time, and they say, "I say, why do you care so much about what Donald Trump is doing, or what the government is doing, or what the government creates our reality?" Every single day when you go outside and you see stoplights, you see traffic lights, the government comes down to even telling you what light is going to go there. Is it going to be a traffic light, a stoplight? Is this going to be a right of way? Can this person drive? Can that person? The government creates our reality. And you mean to tell me you're going to tell a person that's a part of a population that's not even 1% of the world, don't try to be a part of a government? You're telling your people the wrong thing to do. African Americans spread rhetoric like this. This rhetoric is dangerous to our communities. You're telling your people the wrong thing. Don't participate in a government that runs the world, and you can participate in this government because you live in the country. People from Africa want us to participate in this government so we can change their reality. We can help them. If more of us was inside the government, then we can make sure that France and China and places like that just don't take from Africa. We can do business with Africa as being inside the American government and try to open up lines of communication with African Americans in Africa. Even though them lines of communication was open in 2016 and they begged people to come back, but we don't really hear too much about that. We can do that type of stuff. But for you guys to say, oh man, well, You guys think you guys sound so smart. Y'all think y'all sound so smart. Oh, well, you know, this and that and this and that, and this lines up to this. So that means that this can't happen. You guys think y'all so smart. Oh, man, you should not care about politics because it's all a big game anyway. Look at how this happens and this happens. It's, dude, we get that. Everybody know politics is a game. That's why it's called the political game. We know it's a game. But the thing is that game runs the entire world. And you don't even want to be a part of it. You don't even want to try. I can't conversate with a person like that. You put yourself in a box. So what you want to do? Get together as a people. 13% of America. Not even 2% of the world. Not even 2% of the world. You want to get together as a population and do what? That's my question to African Americans. You want to do what? Except waste time and telling people don't vote and don't do this and don't do that and don't be a part of. If we raise up our own candidate like the Latinos do, like the Chinese people do, people that speak for Chinese people is on in the government is Chinese. People that speak for Africans is Africans. People that speak for African Americans is white Americans. And we raise up our own candidate and tell us that this is the candidate that we want to try to do things for African Americans. You know, and I understand that the country has more than African Americans in it. We only 13% of the population. So you have to do stuff for the country. But since we only 13% of the population, it won't take that hard to help us, would it? It won't be that much money to help us, would it? Until we raise up a candidate like that, then we just spinning wheels. And going the way that we doing now, enlightening the people, me talking to the people every single day, telling them what's going on inside the government. I'm not the candidate for that. You check my bat record. The time when I be president, I'll be walking out of president because I did way more bad and shit than some of these motherfuckers dream of doing. But it's honest, if we raise up a candidate like that, we could take things to a different plateau. But we can't keep knocking each other when we're talking about common sense situations and you telling somebody, well, you know, it really don't matter. You can't really talk about that because they playing a game with you anyway. No, you guys really think that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is really going back in the White House and saying, well, listen, we got them today, didn't we? You guys really think that? Because I know people that know them and know that they really hate each other. The government is not that hard to know people in the government. You can go up there and you can talk to them. You can start making connections. That's not that hard. That's not a big deal to know. It's not like you trying to get in touch with like fucking Oliver Stone or some shit. Not like you trying to get in touch with what Floyd Mayweather or Denzel Washington or Will Smith. It's not like that. These are political figures. They supposed to be there for the people. So these people is not easy, not hard to get in touch with. So the narrative that a lot of you guys try to spin is that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump is really friends behind closed scenes and they're just fooling the people and they got everybody fooled. Now, maybe, and I believe this. I believe that the parties is not that far from each other. Some of the ideas and the policies is sort of the same. Both of them have goals of not liking niggas. I believe that. And shaking hands behind and saying, "Oh man, we duked them. We duked all the American people today. Oh man, the Republicans and the Democrats are really together. We just put on a show every day." Come on, man. You know how many people would have to be together in that lie? Come on, man. Y'all guys need to stop that. Stop tricking the people and come up with a better conversation and a better narrative than that. You stand on no facts. You just saying something that you see, that you think that you can point out and tell and sound intelligent, but it's not. It's not. It's not intelligent at all. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump is really friends behind closed scenes. You guys are what? What? That means the whole thing that they will be doing is for no reason, or everybody's just really holding a dick in their hand. Everybody just playing around. Y'all, we really have people that says this type of things. Come on, man. Y'all guys gotta wisen up, man. It's not about that. It has nothing to do with that. We gotta keep enlightening our people and talking about the political issues in America as African Americans. And we gotta talk about it every single day and bang on these people's doors until we get our political figures in there that we want. But until we get that happening, we gotta fuck with them. I'm sorry. We gotta mess with them and pick on them until they do what we want them to do. Because we are the voting people. We pay the money. We are empowered. I'll holler at y'all later, man. This is the First Amendment with Isaiah Tilson. Hit the like, subscribe to the page, do everything you can possibly do. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate it.